Hi everyone! Today I'll be demonstrating a full body stretching routine I like to do after a workout or on rest days to maintain flexibility. As a brief disclaimer, I am not a certified yoga instructor or professional in this space. I'm just sharing the routine as a former gymnast and collegiate diver. We'll start off in a comfortable sitting position and take a nice deep breath. Start with some neck rolls, do 3 on each side. This is usually how I like to get all the cracks out of my neck. Switch directions when you finish 3 on one side. Now we'll go into a downward dog position to stretch out our hamstrings, toes, and our shoulders. So first thing you want to do is try to get your heels to touch the ground. Alternate lifting your feet up one at a time to get a more focused and deeper hamstring stretch. I tend to do little bounces here. You can roll your toes under to get some toe cracks. And for your shoulders, try to push your shoulders down towards the ground. You might hear some cracks in your back as well. Now come down and sit on your heels, and I'm going to do kind of an intense front of the foot stretch. You're going to bring all your weight onto your toes and lean back and kind of push your weight towards the top of your foot to give the front of your foot a good stretch. Sometimes this can be a little too intense. You might get some foot cramps or your toes might have too much weight on them, so be careful with this one. Now come to a seated pike position, and we're going to do some seated twists. So bring your right leg over your left and bring your left arm across your right knee and give yourself a nice twist. Again, you might get some back cracks here. And hold this for a few seconds. Now switch sides, bring your left leg over your right arm across your left knee, and twist. And come out of the stretch. Now in the same seated pike position as before, we're going to do some half pikes. So bring your left knee in, bring your heel to your inner thigh, reach your arms up top, breathe in, and fold your body down. Try to get your nose to touch your knee, grab on to your right foot, and pull down to feel the stretch in the back of your leg and your hamstrings. Make sure you're breathing in this position. Remember, if you can't bring your body all the way down, it's fine to just find a comfortable position where you can tolerate the stretch. Gently come out of that stretch and switch legs. Bring your right foot into your left inner thigh, reach all the way up, breathe in, and fold your body down. You may find that one leg is more flexible than the other, which is totally normal. Try not to bend your bottom leg, just to make sure that you're getting a proper stretch in the back of your leg. and come on out. Now we're going to do a full pike stretch. Bring both feet out in front, legs straight, reach your arms all the way up, breathe in, and fold your body down. Try to reach as far forward as you can. If you're flexible, you might be able to bring your face all the way down to your knees. Grab on to the bottom of your feet, or what you can do is grab onto your ankles and pull your body down that way, whatever works for you. For an even more intense stretch here, you can flex your feet up and grab onto your feet. When your feet are flexed in a pike position, it intensifies that hamstring stretch. Continue to hold this stretch wherever you're comfortable. And come on out. Now what we're going to do is do a lying twist. So scoot up to your mat and lie down. And pick a leg to start with. Bring your knee up towards your chest and fold it over to the opposite side. In this case, I'm starting with my left and rolling over to my right side. You should feel a nice stretch in your lower back. And now switch. Bring your right leg close to your chest and roll over to your left. And come on out. Now we're going to sit back up and do our quad stretch. So take your left leg and bend your knee and lean back so that you feel a stretch in your left quad. If you're not feeling the stretch, you can lean all the way back so you're laying down. Make sure to keep your hips square so the stretch is focused on your quad muscle. Now go ahead and switch. Bend your right knee and lean back. And come on out. Now we're going to move on to stretching our hips and groin. Lie on your back and hook your fingers around both of your big toes, opening up your hips. You can rock side to side to deepen the stretch and give your lower back a bit of a massage. I even like to straighten my legs fully here to intensify the stretch even more. Now unhook your fingers and place your hands on top of your knees using the weight of your hands to open up your hips. You can apply pressure to your knees to deepen the stretch. I often do small rocking back and forth movements with my knees to open my hips even further. Now start to make circles with your knees. Starting from the original position, bring your knees up towards your chest and back down and around to create circles. This movement should open up your hips even more. After a few rounds, bring your knees up to your chest and hug your knees. Rock side to side to give yourself a gentle back massage. come on up and sit in a butterfly position. Bring the bottoms of your feet together with your knees out and grab onto your ankles and use your elbows to push your knees down to deepen the stretch. You can also use your hands to apply pressure to your knees. Move your knees up and down like a butterfly's wings. Give yourself one last deep stretch by pushing your knees down. And come on out, and now we're going to move on to stretch our hip flexors and splits. Starting on your knees, you're going to bring your left leg forward into pigeon pose. Keep your left leg bent in the front and extend your right leg behind you. Lean back onto your right leg to feel a nice hip flexor stretch in your right leg. And hold that for a few moments. Now lean forward onto your front leg to feel a stretch underneath your thigh and glute. Relax your arms near your head or on your sides. And hold this for a bit. Now come on out of that stretch, and with the same leg going forward, in this case it's our left leg, we're going to hold that out in the front and lean forward into that left leg. You should feel this stretch on your right hip flexor. Place your hands on your left knee and push yourself forward and down towards the floor. Make sure you keep your hips square. Now to intensify the stretch, you can bring both your elbows down to your mat and place them on the inside of your left leg. Come on out and now shift your weight to your back knee. Reach your arms past your front foot, straighten your left leg, and try to touch your forehead to your front knee. You should feel this stretch in the back of your left leg in your hamstrings. And hold this for a few seconds. Now if you want to try to move into a split, gently move your right knee back and extend your left leg out to the front. Use your arms to hold your body up and control the intensity of the stretch. You'll notice I mostly keep my weight in my arms since my left leg is not as flexible. Try to keep your chest up here and hold this for a few seconds. Come on out and move into child's pose. Sit on your heels, bring your head down to the floor, and relax your arms on your sides. Notice the difference you feel between your left leg and your right leg, and take a few breaths here. Come on out, and now we're going to do the same thing on our right leg. Right leg forward into pigeon pose. Hips square and lean back to feel the stretch in your left hip flexor. And lean forward, bring your forehead down to the mat, and rest your arms on either side of your head. Come on out and sit up on your knees and bring your right leg forward. Push your body down towards the mat to feel a stretch. Remember, you can bring your elbows down to the mat on the inside of your right knee to intensify the stretch. And shift your weight back to your left knee to stretch out your right hamstring. I didn't mention this before, but you can also flex your front foot to intensify that stretch in the back of your leg. And gently move into your right leg split. Hold this for as long as you're comfortable. And come on out. Now we'll move into another child's pose and take a few breaths there. Now we're almost done with the routine. We're going to end it off with some back rolls. So scoot on up to the front of your mat, hug your knees, and do some rolls back and forth. Each time I roll back, I go further onto my upper back and shoulders. And be careful with what I do next. Don't try it if it looks like it'll be too intense, but I roll all the way back onto my shoulders and bring my knees on either side of my head. It gives me a really deep stretch going from my lower back all the way up to my neck. Holding my lower back, I move into plow pose where I straighten my legs and bring my toes down to the floor. Again, be really careful with this. Next, I just hug my straight legs towards my face in a pike as a final hamstring stretch. And come on out. Now to end the routine, I do a fairly long child's pose. I like to bring my knees apart so that my chest has room to take deep breaths, and bring your head down to the mat, extend your arms out front, and just take some deep breaths and relax. Now gently come out of child's pose. And that concludes the stretching routine. Thanks so much for watching.